Okay, there we go. So my presentation is about the support services researchers might need. And what I'm going to present is the research that has been done by a user experience researcher. So her name is Anna Dubov. So it's not my own research. We hired someone externally to work with us, and she did interviews with researchers, and these are the results she came up with. I'm Lena Karvovskaya, the community manager, research data management. If you have any follow-up questions, you can contact me. What I'm going to tell is the research question we asked from the user experience researcher, the main findings, and then the recommendations she gave us. So the question we actually asked her was, how can we increase the visibility of research data management support services? So at the university, we have a research data management support desk at the library, and every faculty has an appointed data steward who is there to be the contact person for researchers for any question related to data management. But both these services are struggling with visibility, and our initial hypothesis was that we have that our internet presence is not so good, so this results in poor engagement. The discovery the user experience researcher made is that the problem is actually deeper. Researchers have to make several decisions before they reach out to research data management support services. They don't feel confident making these decisions, and by not being proactive, by only being responsive, we are not helping them in this process. So what she discovered is that research data management is a new term, but for researchers, it feels as if it's something that they have been doing all along. So it's not, it doesn't feel that new. It just feels that what they have already been doing has received another name. And usually people who think about research data management as something special, as something have this holistic approach to it, are people who do pre-registration. Another way of finding out about the importance of good data management is the hard way. If something goes wrong, people realize that this might be something worth their attention. Where do researchers go for support? Well, our conclusion was that researchers believe that it's actually their job to have answers to all the questions, that this is what makes them researchers. And another important source of information is the supervisor. So this is the supervisor really has a very important role in guiding researchers for any kind of information, including research data management. By contrast, the website of the university is not a place where people look for information, and if they look there, they often find it confusing. And the RDM support desk is something people come across by accident. What are the obstacles for reaching out to the services? Well, there is time. Time is limited, and there is always a trade-off between investing time into research or something else, for example, research data management. It's also difficult to formulate the question, and this might result in not asking the question. And there is little understanding about what research data management can help with, and what questions are okay to ask. What we think researchers would like to receive is information as early as possible, clear guidelines on what rules apply to them and why, and a more approachable way of communication. I will explain in a second what I mean by that. So this is the user journey that the user experience researcher drew for us. As you can see, there is this bar which shows the level of confidence of a researcher about what to do, and almost everything happens below this bar. So if we want our services to be more user-friendly, we need to lower that bar so that researchers feel more confident in approaching us. So what you can see is already realizing that you might have a question is something difficult. And once people realize that they might have a question, it becomes more tricky because it's not clear if this question is okay to ask or not, if it will make a bad impression if they approach someone with this question. And this is the consider stage. Then there is the choose stage where our bad internet presence, for example, becomes a problem because even if you decided that you should reach out for help, it's not clear where to go. And only at the reach out stage, people feel much more confident and then the problem might be sorted out. But you can also see that at every point of this journey, the researcher might decide not to bother and not to pursue this question. So which recommendations did we receive? So we received a recommendation to demonstrate practical applications of good data management, demonstrate how different research data management practices affect the research project on various levels, emphasize the importance of early adoption, and translate to local needs. So make sure that what we talk about is applicable to different faculties and different departments. Also show the boundaries of the freedom. So this is about the complexity of the regulations. The regulations are complex and we need to be clear about that, but we also need to show what regulations are applicable to the departments and which regulations are important for the university as a whole. So again, there is this need for translation to much smaller units than the university. And what we should also do is create a space for a dialogue so that people who have experience with the rules and regulations, for example, people who made sure that they are compliant with GDPR, can share this experience with other researchers. Show how to find you. So this is about clearly communicating the responsibilities of the data management team and the support from the faculties, and making people who worked with us more known to other researchers. Make it seamless to reach out with any question. So again, this is about democratizing the way to reach out and ask questions, maybe using different channels which are not just an email or a web form on the website. This is what we use now, but maybe having a forum or a Slack group could be more useful. Build a space for knowledge sharing. So this is partially what we are trying to achieve by organizing this meeting. To create an atmosphere of support which would help to understand the process and see benefits of achieving the initial goal, and create a space for knowledge sharing across the university to streamline finding a solution to common problems. Thank you very much.